Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Full Refund. I worked at an electronics retailer in the early 2000s. One of our managers, Jim, was an all-around garbage person, but especially known for tearing down employees in front of angry customers to defuse the situation. I worked in computers, but was helping customer service process returns during a busy period. Returns are opened, checked out and tagged with a discount, which varied depending on if parts, manuals, etc. were missing. The return is then labeled with tamper-resistant tape with the store logo. A customer from further back in the line sees me go through this process and asks in a shaky voice, do you check every item? I replied that yes, we do. Moments later, it was his turn. He was returning a DVD burner. I opened the box to find no product, no packing material, no manual, nothing. Except a half-empty jar of peanut butter, presumably for raid. I informed him, politely, that I could not process the return. He stated that it was like that when he bought it. I explained calmly that not only do we check and reseal all returns, as he'd just seen, but that this was a new product and we'd only ever sold one. Specifically, I sold it. To him. This was confirmed on the receipt and store records, which I showed him. He proceeded to have the most forced and unconvincing Karen meltdown of my career, which is saying something. I made no insinuation that he had essentially stolen the item, but the angry customers behind him were doing a fine job of that for me. Eventually he yells, "This is BS, I want to speak to her." And right on time, here comes Jim out of the back. He makes a big show about how sorry he is and how rude and incompetent I am. The other customers are losing it and throwing out jabs like, "I have to pay for my items, why doesn't he?" Jim ignores this as he knows I'll have to deal with them, and he won't. He then processes the return himself, continues to talk crap about me to the customer, issues a full refund and throws the box in the trash. After I handle the rest of the line, I retrieve the box. After all, this was a returned item and no in-store inventory. As per policy, I seal the box and label it with a detailed tag. No DVD burner, no cables, no software, no manuals, no packaging materials. Empty box containing a half-empty jar of peanut butter. Price? 10 cents. I place the box back on the shelf. Now, back in computers, it doesn't take long before a customer approaches me with the box. He had not read my carefully prepared open item tag, so I explained the entire story to him. And that, in accordance with company policy, I may have relayed some of Jim's commentary regarding my character. He is understandably upset and asked for our corporate number. Right away, sir. That afternoon I had a very interesting meeting with Jim, my store manager and my district manager. I wish I could tell you that Jim got fired, but he wasn't. He did have his bonus adjusted and attended a few weeks of customer service training and a mandatory training seminar on sensitivity training. Jim never spoke one word to me again. The next story is called Don't Want to Work on It. I work at an automotive shop. We are high volume and occasionally cars come back for a recurring issue. Most of the times, these issues go back to the technician who didn't properly repair it on the first go around, but there are exceptions to the rule. I gave one of the technicians, who is considered top tier, a check engine light concern. Of course, we try our best to look at previous history to see if this is a comeback. In this case, the vehicle had been here 7 months ago, also for a check engine light. However, the issue had been repaired with a software update, and the owner had 7 trouble-free months with the vehicle. The technician who looked at it this time was not the same one who performed the repair 7 months earlier. I give him the vehicle, and within 5 minutes he's calling me to come to see him. Here we go. This technician has about 15 years of age on me and 0 experience in dispatching work. Dispatching shop work has been my job for 4 years. Same job all of this time, mind you. Right away, the technician, who is upset, says he's not fixing this vehicle. Someone else worked on it and they didn't fix it properly. And now it needs a major repair. He proceeds to tell me that he should never get someone else's comebacks and that he is refusing to repair it because someone else worked on it in the past. Great. I did my best to explain that this time around has nothing to do with what's happening now. Had it been, we would have been working on the vehicle well before 7 months due to what the repair is. This is a person who will not listen to me or most people once he's upset. Being that I know I'll get nowhere by engaging him and also getting upset, I tell him to pull their vehicle out and we'll move on, because he's wasting time by making a fuss over the situation. He complies. As I walk back into the office, an advisor comes up to me, says he has a customer who was just here for an oil change, and now the cover that goes underneath the engine is dragging on the ground. We look up history and find that, guess what? The technician who doesn't work on other people's comebacks worked on it last week. I wish you all could have seen the look on this tech's face when I handed him the keys and paperwork proving that he worked on it, and told him, if you won't fix other people's comebacks, at least fix your own. The last story is called Our Fault. This story happened 9 years ago. I used to work in a camp as a children's entertainer. One day we had this girl come join us for archery. You had to pay 10 euros to join the archery activity. We had one dude come over to teach it. My job was to basically babysit the kids, which is 90% of their job anyway, so that is all fine and well. Now, this girl would not listen to me or the archery dude whenever we said, wait until everyone has shot all their arrows and then go pick up your arrows. She would just shoot her arrows and immediately get them, while the other kids were still shooting. This is obviously very dangerous. After warning her multiple times, I decided that enough was enough, and I told her to leave the activity. Fast forward a couple of hours. I just finished another activity and see her and her mom coming toward me. Now, I've seen this before, and generally I get the, now what do you say? Sorry. What? I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case here. It was the opposite. The mom wanted me to apologize to her daughter and then also give her her money back. Neither of which obviously was gonna happen. But it gets worse. Apparently, this girl stole 50 euros from her mom's purse, then decided to pay for her archery thing at the service desk. And with the leftover 40 euros, she went to the shop and bought 40 euros worth of candy. And the mom wasn't mad at her, she was mad at us for allowing her to buy that much candy and buy a ticket to the archery thing without her permission. It was all our fault. So we all came together and decided that if that was the case, she would not be allowed to do anything without her mom's permission. Going to buy some bread at the little shop in the morning? Better get your mom. Want to join the arts and craft hour? Not without your mom's permission. Want to pay a €1 deposit on a locker for the swimming pool? No. They quickly tried to backtrack, but we didn't. The mom had to constantly supervise her daughter, which means she was also witnessing all her bad behavior. It was still all our fault though. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what I do and would like to support me, please subscribe and hit the like button. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.